Hello everyone, today's video is all about this little beauty right here, the oval frame thin cut. This week, my friends over at the Creative Design team and I are bringing you ideas to use things you haven't used yet. We all have those items in our stash that we bought because we loved them, but for whatever reason we never got around to using them. So this is a thin cut that is really great for cards. It's sized perfectly for an A2 card size, but I have an idea to use it on a scrapbook layout. I'm going to be using the Silver Bells collection. Now some of these are only portions of the pattern paper because I have already used this collection, but it's a beautiful wintry Christmas inspired collection here. So let me just scoot this out of the way. I only have 3 photos, so this is going to be a single page layout. So I've got one Versamat, and then my photos I did print to 3x4 size. And what I'm picturing is kind of like, remember how growing up we all had family portraits on the hallway wall or somewhere, maybe in the living room, and they had beautiful frames? These 3x4 photos are going to fit perfectly inside this oval frame. So I think this is going to be really cool. It's definitely going to be different, but I'm excited to try out my idea. So what I'm envisioning is using this piece of pattern paper. This is a bonus piece from the Silver Bells workshop, and then I do want to use this pattern here. Now the words are going 2 different directions, but it actually does have a direction because the bells you do want oriented up and down. So I'm thinking a strip of this on either side. I don't know how big of a strip I can go, so I'm going to bring in my photos just to kind of get an idea. I'm picturing something a little bit like this in the frames. I'll need to, of course, spread them out a little bit to accommodate the frames, but maybe we can get away with about 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. I did trim these down to slightly wider than 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches is what will be showing. I just like to have my layers overlapping, and anytime I am moving from one pattern paper to another, I like to add a little transition strip. You could use cardstock or ribbon. In this case, I'm going to use these beautiful gold foiled stickers from the coordinating sticker sheets. So those are going to sit right there. I think that's going to look great. Let me get these adhered first. I am going to add just a little bit of charcoal ink to the outside edge of this paper. The inside's going to be covered up by that sticker, so I don't need to add ink to there. That would just be a waste. So this, as I mentioned, is my niece Madeline in the photos here, and she works for a photographer. She's learning all about editing and just, you know, all the things that go along with being a photographer, and you know, she also makes the appointments and whatnot. But yeah, she's learning a ton, and I love it because this just makes my scrapbooker heart happy. You know, she's taking a lot more photos because of course she's, you know, interested and sends me the photos because she knows how much I love to scrapbook. And when she sent me these, this is a studio set up in the, you know, where she works, and she's wearing this gorgeous brown skirt. It's literally the color of toffee, and I thought, oh, that's going to look just stunning with this particular paper pack that has the toffee color in it. So I was pretty excited, and she just looks so happy in these photos. So they're, you know, just a little bit different poses, and then one zoomed in there. So I thought this is just going to be a beautiful little layout I can create and document my niece and her job at the photographer studio. I did already get those adhered down, so now I can just use the measurement marks on my Versamat here, and I'm going to line that up at 1.25. As I mentioned earlier, I like my layers to overlap just slightly. So it's easy to make sure these are straight because I'm just using those lines on my Versamat there. And then if you have the T-square ruler, that is a great way or a great tool for making sure your pieces are straight also. Typically when I am creating a layout, let me move this out of the way, I would match my photos on either cardstock or maybe pattern paper just to bring in, you know, more of that gorgeous pattern. And, you know, I'm really inspired by the toffee. I think I'm going to go with toffee. But rather than mat the photos, we're going to use the frame, or, you know, this is the idea I have in my head. I think it's going to look good. It's definitely going to be something a little bit different. So I'm going to use this die, and I'll cut out 3 frames from toffee. So I've got my 3 frames, and I really just love the ornate, intricate detail. But if you look closely, can you see that stitching on the inside, the faux stitching? At the time of filming this, there are only a few of these left. So I know many of you already have this in your stash because it's been around for a while. I just can't believe I haven't used it. If I have used this on a card and don't remember, don't come after me. So I don't remember, and I looked through my Instagram photos and didn't see anything, so I did go back and double check, but I definitely have not used it on a scrapbook layout. So I'm going to need to cut off the corners of these photos once I am ready to get those frames adhered. But yeah, I think this is going to be cool. If you've been hanging around my channel for a hot minute, you know I collaborate the 3rd Friday of every month with another group of crafty friends where we use the Make It From Your Heart Volume 6 sketchbook, and we're working through the sketches one by one. So pattern 4 is actually coming up this Friday, but I had this on my desk already planning out the next video for you, and I'm like, you know what, this is working really well. So that is where the inspiration, I've done layouts like this before, but since this was sitting there and I had the 3x4 photos, you can see how that is kind of a take on this sketch. And you could, you know, bump your photos like this. They have them, you know, a little bit more squared off into a grid form, and then you could put your title here, your journaling here. You could add another frame, but I really do like the playfulness of having these offset. And I'm going to be doing quite a bit of layering over the frames. I still might add some journaling right here, but if you want to see me turn this layout into a double page, at least that's my plan for now. Hit that subscribe button and you'll see this sketch used in a whole different way. I am confident we're going to go with the frames, so I will adhere these. I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue, and that way it'll hold it to the photo, and I can always go back in and add more later to reinforce those. But I just want to get those corners trimmed off, and it's barely covering the sides of these 3x4 photos. So yeah, you wouldn't want to go any smaller than 3x4 because then you would be peeking through. The 3x4 is just perfect, and the liquid glue is going to let me slide that into place there. I did give that just a moment to dry. Now I can sneak under here with my microtip scissors and just go at an angle and cut off those corners so they are not peeking out from the behind the frame there. And super simple. I love it. I have pulled several stickers from the coordinating sticker sheet. I did remove some of the tack on the back of these, and how I like to do that is with my I'm trying to reach it here, my anti-static powder tool. I have this cute little dish my mom got for me from an antique store. It has a little horse on there. It's kind of this old-fashioned, but it's perfect for my little anti-static pouch. So if you just pat this on the back, the powder transfers to the, the sticker and remove some of that adhesive, and then you can move them around. You can also stick them to your arm. It might rip some hair out, proceed with caution. But I really want to use this. It's a big sticker. But yeah, we've got a lot of open space in this photo here, and I could kind of do this and maybe create an embellishment cluster here. I also have this banner that I thought looked really pretty underneath the frame there. So if we bring these back together, that makes a nice title option there. But this is a problem when you have too many choices. I also have this stamp set here with some beautiful titles: A December to Remember, Holiday Memories, and 'Tis the Season. And I actually already stamped some of these out because I was playing around with them for another layout. So I've got options here, which is always nice. Whenever I have extra pieces, I just tuck them right into the envelope like this, and then they're ready for the next project I can use them on. I do love this one because you can stack up a bunch of, it has the coordinating dies. You can get the stamp set without the dies. Usually the sets with the dies sell out first. They're, limited, but the stamp set will be around for a while. So you can cut extra pieces and then stack them up to get some dimension. So I've got different color options here. I have a gold embossed on charcoal, which looks very pretty, and we're bringing in the gold, so that could work. I also have black. I've got gold embossing on black cardstock, but I don't want to introduce black, so we can rule that one out. So this one could go here. We could also put this here and then go back with this sticker. This is why I like to remove the adhesive so I can move things around and try them. So I do like that, but let's try this one instead here. You know what? I think I want to go with a white. I just like it. Let's go ahead and add some foam tape to the back of this large sticker here. I do want to add some more like sprigs and things like that peeking out from underneath. So this will make that easy to do, just popping it up. This is the regular foam tape. There is a thin 3D foam tape, which is great for cards if you're putting them in the mail, or maybe if you just don't want too much bulk to your pages. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these covered. I'll peel the sticker back off when I'm ready to adhere that. And as for this, I mentioned you can add dimension by stacking your die cuts. So I adhered the two bottom pieces together. And then when we add on the top, which is the visible title element, that will be 3 layers altogether. Again, a great way to add dimension, especially for these more intricate pieces, just stacking up the die cuts. These ornaments are from the coordinating sticker sheet, but I also have this Silver Bells stamp set and coordinating thin cuts with more ornaments. It's really beautiful. There's the bells on there too, like in the pattern paper. But I want to add more embellishments to create an embellishment cluster surrounding this title up here. So I'm thinking if we just kind of layer some of them under and some over. And then I have all of these sprigs. Now these are from the Evergreen collection. And then as far as these little green ones here, I've die cut those out using the Evergreen Cardmaking stamp set. I am having so much fun with this little pine sprig here. I've been putting it on everything. So we have all these bits and pieces to tuck and nestle in around our embellishments. So I wanted to bring in the green to kind of warm this paper pack up. The gold and silvers and soft grays, it's all very neutral, but I find that you can incorporate, different colors like greens. I've even seen others use reds with these papers, and it's absolutely beautiful. So just, whatever is in your photos, you can kind of draw out for inspiration and add to this neutral color palette. The white paperboard leaves are subtle against the lighter color background, but they're adding a beautiful textural element. And the lights from the camera do kind of wash out those lighter elements. They do show up more in person when you're looking at the layout. I've got this gold foil leaf here. I think I'm going to put that one up top for just a little bit of shine. And then, I want a third point. So maybe something kind of down here. I don't know, we can kind of tuck them around the bottom of the frame, and then I could put something over the top of the frame. I'm going to cut that tail off just to make it a little bit easier to tuck underneath there. It definitely needs something over the top of the photo, kind of tying in all of those embellishments, but I want to tuck this little guy in here. So I'm going to look at the sticker sheet and see if there's anything there first. I could use an ornament too. But I do have this sticker. It says celebrate the season. I don't want anything too large because I am going to be adding my journaling in this section. I do think that looks good. So I'm going to put that there. And then let's scoot these guys under so they're originating from that sticker. And then we'll layer some over the photo and then have some kind of coming out from behind the photo, just like so. You can see I've added my journaling using my Avery clear sticker paper, and I will leave this linked in the description box below. I do want to point out it says clear, and in the description on Amazon it says frosted matte. You want the frosted, and it is frosted, and that helps it to disappear into the background. If it were a shiny surface, it would be reflective and more obvious, so you want the frosted matte because it just helps it to disappear into the background. And it's too late now, but how neat would it look if I had taken my Spectrum Noir metallic paint marker and gone around the edges? I know that you've probably seen me do that here before on my channel. Katie does it a lot on her channel. It's a tip we've all picked up from Katie, but you could have added the gold outline to these frames and it would look so pretty. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I think those frames add so much interest to this layout, and it really switched things up other than just a standard photo mat. Everything I used can be found in the description box below the video. If you did not see Andrea's video yesterday, go ahead and click this playlist right here on the right, and be sure to tune back in each day this week for the rest of the creative design team. Thanks for watching.